All right, guys, we got up early We're on the ferry. Sorry about the noise. We got up early to catch the ferry to Africa, and it was a really easy process until we got on the boat. There was only a couple spots for a van that is as high as ours, and so we had to do this crazy back and forth
27-point turn.
Yeah, turn around, but I think we're going to be first off the boat, so that's good. Short line to get stamped into Morocco.
Yeah. So you do immigration, passport control on the boat. We'll do customs, which is van control, when we get to the port in Morocco.
X-rays and all that type of stuff. But we're on the boat, and it's exciting as we look out. This is time to say goodbye, at least for now, to Europe.
Goodbye, Europe.
It has been stunning and beautiful.
14 months.
It's 14 months, and it's been a race back and forth across Europe. Not sure how many countries we saw here, but we saw a lot, and it is a beautiful place.
We'll be back.
We'll be back, but we are super excited. We're on the boat, and looking across the water, I can see the little mountains over there silhouetted of Africa. So it's only a short boat ride.
It's 1 hour. 1 hour ferry.
1 hour. So we're going to see you.
No.
Well, yeah.
They brought around barf bags. And we're already rocking and rolling, and we're just pulling out of the marina. So we better hold on till we get to Africa.
We're going to see you guys in a minute when we get there.
We got off the ferry, and then we had to go immediately to an x-ray machine where they x-ray about 4 cars at a time. We got waved through there, so that went smooth. We made it to the police checkpoint where they were fascinated with the kitties. We had to take G and Vanna out because the dog came in to do a sweep.
He was very disciplined, though. He didn't even look at the cat.
No. But right before that, I spilled a bunch of Vanna's cat food, so he may have been preoccupied eating cat food when he was searching the van. But
it's
the important part,
guys.
the important part.
We are in Africa. We got our paper for our vehicle. We're cleared through customs. We're cleared through immigration. Let's go see Morocco.
Woo! Now that we are officially checked into Morocco, let me back up and tell you a couple of things. Last night, we spent the night in Tarifa, Spain, which is where there's a ferry port that brings you over to Africa or to Morocco. The ferry ticket for me, Curt, the van, and 2 kitties was around $340 US. We booked that a couple of weeks ago to make sure we got a spot on the ferry. But we took the ride over. It is less than an hour, and that is because where we landed in Morocco, which is called the city of Tangier, is only 9 miles from Tarifa, Spain. That is how close the continent of Africa is to the continent of Europe. 9 miles. It was a bumpy ride, but we made it here. You already know we're checked in. It's official. We landed in Tangier, Morocco, which is known as the White City because of all the white buildings. It has a pretty cool little bit of history to it. Right now it's very modern, though, isn't it?
It was very modern, very clean, and place that would have been cool to explore.
Yeah, but you know, we don't do big cities, and we're on a bit of a timeline coming through Morocco here. But from the 1920s to the 1950s, Morocco was like an international free zone, and it was governed by this complex group of like 30 different countries. And that's when it kind of became a notorious place for writers and artists and spies. So there's a lot of spy history here in Tangier. But we drove through, and it was a beautiful city, but we are southbound to our next destination, which is supposed to be even better.
And you guys know, for those of you who aren't Americans, you know we love sheep. And in town and outside of town, there's sheep everywhere. We always love seeing those. We don't see a lot of those in the U.S., although we have them.
And those we just passed, there were some babies.
There were some babies there,
My
but
favorite.
it is exciting to be in Africa, and it's really pretty so far.
Yeah, so let's go, guys. Our first meal in Morocco. All right, we're coming to the realization that we actually have made it to a new continent, and we are in Africa. So we've driven about an hour, and we've stopped for our first lunch here in Morocco. So we'll see what we get. We think we ordered pretty good. The waiter was very nice and spoke a little Spanish, which helped. So our plan for today is to drive about another hour and a half, and we're going to go to the city of, I'm going to say this wrong, so I will put it on the screen, Chefchaouen, known famously as the Blue City. It is a beautiful city here in the mountains of Morocco, and we will get there, we will find our parking spot, and we will rest for the rest of the day, because borders, if you don't remember, from Central and South America, can wear you out. First thing in the morning, we're going to take you guys to go see this beautiful Blue City. But something we've discovered as we're driving through this area is, when you think of Morocco, you think deserts and camels, right? No, we're driving through beautiful green mountains and curvy roads, which I knew that existed here from our research. But man, it's really cool to see it in person. So we're gonna have lunch, and then we're headed to the Blue City. The bread is hot. I better get into a piece of it right now. Our first Moroccan lunch was way too much food, but it was good. What were they called, Curt?
Tangines.
Tangines.
It's a cultural dish, and they serve it in like a conical clay pot, and it really kind of resembles a stew. I think it's cooked down at coals. Mine had a little bit of lamb. Snow's had a little bit of chicken. And then it's like a potato, carrot, squash, pepper, onion, like a stew, and it's really tender and moist and flavorful and tasty. But I gotta tell you, this drive has been really colorful and flavorful. We're coming through kind of a combination of farmland as well as mountains, and well, you can see a lot of people out there doing handwork from the fields, a lot of sheep and donkeys along the side of the road grazing or working, and
police. There is a very big presence of Moroccan police, and you can tell that they're legit. They have fancy uniforms, and they have radar guns, and when you come into town, you just better count on one being there.
Well, at every roundabout, sometimes these roundabouts are kind of random, and the speed goes quickly from 80 to 60 to 40 kilometers, which is about 25 miles an hour, which is not unreasonable, but boy, they're sitting right there, and if you don't slow down, they're pulling people over. And I have to say, it's kind of good, because also everywhere along the roads there's a lot of people, and it looks like the people are waiting for some kind of collectivos or buses or shared rides or something like that, because I mean, hitchhiking, we've seen it all, a lot of people like that. But I gotta give the Moroccan people thumbs up for their driving. They're not real aggressive, they're very patient, and clearly they're used to slowing down and speeding up. But overall, the roads have been really good, so really enjoying
Day one in Morocco. Couple of things. I've already told you we're headed to the Blue City. And from what we understand, a lot of the cities in Morocco associate themselves with a color. Like Tangier was the white city, and this is the blue city. And we'll understand that more when we get there and learn more about why. But I also wanted to let y'all know that Curt jinxed us incredibly by saying that the roads were great and that the people were not aggressive drivers. Apparently, we have left that area of Morocco and entered an area where the drivers seemed to be a bit more aggressive and the road went to crap. But it's okay because it's still beautiful, but it's all Curt's fault. It's all Curt's fault. We have come around the corner on our nice leisurely mountain drive and found ourselves smack dab in the middle of something. What do you think's going on here, Curt?
Well, this is clearly the market area or the trading post. There's a lot of people coming in here with their vans loaded down on top of goods and wares. There's a lot of activity and there's a lot of people and yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Video protected.
I like these pointy hats that some of them wear on their, like their long wool jackets that the men wear. They've got pointy hats. And of course, we're in a Muslim area, so the women are going to be wearing the Muslim gear. And I'm sorry, I don't know the appropriate terms. But every once in a while, you'll see the women in some colorful hats.
It's definitely a market, and there is all kinds of clothing and wares. Mattresses and furniture. And
if you want something, this is where you come get it, apparently.
This is colorful. I am loving, loving, loving Africa. What a beautiful cornucopia of stuff.
Wow. That was really cool. I think that is just a touch of some of the stuff, the very beginning of experiencing crowded little market streets like that as we head farther south. But I like that. Woo! Bumpy roads. Testing out those new sumo springs.
Those sumo springs are rocking it.
We are almost to the parking lot where we hope works out that we can spend the night overnight. And we are doing a steep climb up into the Blue City. How's the van doing over there?
I think I can, I think I can, I think I can.
We're almost there. Our GPS is telling us 5 minutes. Oh boy. Can we get up that? It's got us going around it, doesn't it?
It's Tirana.
This is Medellin. All these little kids over here. This is craziness, huh?
Take the next left onto Avenue. Melilla R412, then turn right.
Here, must say stop.
Even the taxis are blue.
We woke up this morning in the beautiful Blue City. I still haven't quite figured out how to pronounce the name of it. Chefchaouen, I think. We parked just on the outskirts of the city center area in a parking lot that cost us about $5 US. Now here in Morocco, the money is called dirhams. So 50 dirhams is $5. 100 dirhams would be $10. So it's basically a 10%, which makes it super easy when you're trying to negotiate prices and stuff. But we took a walk up into the city center this morning through some beautiful little alleyways, starting in the more authentic neighborhoods and getting closer and closer to the tourist area, the city center. Now, there was some stairs. And Google had prepared me for a few stairs, but I didn't know quite how many. But I made it with a few breaks along the way. And as you get closer and closer, you just can't help but fall in love with this town. It is absolutely magical. All the different shades of blue, the contrast against the white or the browns of some of the buildings. It is stunning. And there's some sort of a peace to it. Now, we've learned a few things about this town, and one of them is that it got its name, Chefchaouen, has something to do with 2 points of a bull or something, and it's from these two mountain peaks here. And these are the Rif Mountains, I believe, which is a beautiful mountain range here in the northern parts of Morocco. And the blue, there's many different theories as to where the blue came from. It could possibly come from the Jewish influence when there were a lot of refugees here back in the 16th century when they fled here from Spain. It could be as simple as the blue cools the city because in the summertime it gets hot here in Morocco. And some people say they used blue to repel mosquitoes. I don't care why they used it. I just know it's really, really beautiful. We stopped here in the town center, had a fresh juice at this great little cafe here, just watching the people go by. And I think we're going to continue to take more of a walk after we leave this juice place. But this gets 2 giant thumbs up and a big recommendation. If you come to Morocco, even if you got to take a day trip from one of the bigger cities on a bus, you got to come to this place.
There's a lot of colors, I don't know where to go. See a lot of colors, only feeling blue. There's a lot of colors, lost within a haze. Don't rely on others to get you through the maze. The dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this anymore. There are a lot of voices drowning in the sea. There's too many voices talking back at me. There are a lot of choices waiting to be made. Too many choices making me afraid. Dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this anymore. The dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this anymore.
So this city is so cool. The blue colors, as Snow described, and she told you a little bit about the city. But there's also a lot of other colors as you walk through the markets or the medinas, and you look down the little hallways. But there's lots of sort of browns and reds, and greens, and all sorts of other colors that just make this place so fascinating for your eyes. The ornate details on the windows and the doors. Everything is just fascinating. And the markets, oh, that's beautiful, yeah. But as you pour through here, you can just see the different colors of blue, and it's so relaxing and calming. And then there's just so many beautiful handicrafts and artisanal wares of different kinds. A lot of times when you get into markets like this, it's a little bit commercial and you feel like maybe a lot of the stuff has been imported from other places, but you don't get that feeling here. It feels authentic, it feels natural, and it feels real. And it is just an absolutely stunning city that we've stumbled upon here, and maybe one of my favorites. Woo! What an amazing first, I guess, day and morning in Africa.
Morocco.
What a whirlwind. The ferry ride from Spain, Tarifa, all the way across to Morocco, Tangier, a few-hour drive up to the Blue City, and wow, wow, wow. We are impressed. Some beautiful food, some beautiful culture. Saw some sheep on the side of the road, and Snow always loves that.
They got lots of donkeys here too.
Where are we headed, Snow?
All right, so this is going to wrap up our first video here on the continent of Africa. We have about a 4-hour drive through the beautiful mountains here in northern Morocco.
I think it's the Rift Mountains, right?
I think they're called the Rift Mountains, and we are headed to an amazing city called Fez, which is home to one of the largest markets in the world, definitely in Morocco. Pedestrian only. I think they call them Medinas here. It is going to be tons of culture and probably some good street food.
Oh, I'm dying to try some more food. I love the food we've had so far, and I am ready for some more of Africa. Let's go, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn your notifications on because we want to see you in a few days.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.